All right, let's get straight to it. This is an urgent operational briefing. As of this morning, the Strait of Hormuz is, for all intents and purposes, closed to commercial traffic. Now, look, this isn't some future risk or a news headline for someone else. This is a direct hit on your operation. And this briefing is your framework for the next 72 hours.
Here is the only number that matters right now. In the first week of March, vessel transits through the strait, they collapsed by 97%. We went from an average of 129 transits a day down to just 7. That's 16 million barrels of petroleum products per day that have just stopped flowing. This is a hard stop. And let me be clear, this isn't some theoretical problem. It is already showing up on your P&L. You're seeing it right now in your carrier invoices as war risk surcharges and in your inbound schedules as major delays. And it does not matter if you source a single thing from the Middle East. The shockwave is already inside your network. Now, to get through this, you have to understand the core dynamic at play here, and most of the news coverage is getting this completely wrong. This is not one crisis. It's two totally distinct crises hitting your operation at the exact same time, and they're coming through two different channels: energy and feedstock.
The real difference between these two is all about timing and visibility. The energy channel, that's fast and obvious. It hits your freight budget this week through fuel surcharges. You're going to see it immediately. But the feedstock channel, that one's slower. It's more hidden, and frankly, it's way more dangerous. It snakes its way through your supplier's supply chains and then slams your cost of goods sold next quarter with price escalations on things like polypropylene for your packaging. So one is a budget fire drill, the other is a silent margin killer.
Let's just look at the energy channel in action. The minute diesel crossed $5 a gallon, FedEx's ground fuel surcharge jumped from 22.25% to 25.00% in a single week. UPS is right there with them. The crucial point here is that this is a weekly repricing event. Your freight costs are not stable. They are resetting every 7 days based on that EIA report. And here's that hidden threat I was talking about. The Middle East exports about a quarter of the world's polypropylene and polyethylene. You know what that is? It's the base resin for almost all plastic packaging, containers, and a ton of the products you actually sell. Well, that supply is now cut off from the water, and the price is already spiking in Europe and Asia. Trust me, it will find its way to you. Okay, so the impact is real, and it's coming at you from two directions. What this means is that your old inventory models, the ones you've probably relied on for years, they are now officially broken. We need to do the new math, and it has to be based on the new reality of lead time volatility. So let me ask you directly, how are you calculating your safety stock right now? Because if you're using a standard formula that just focuses on demand variability, you are using the wrong tool for this particular crisis. When your carriers are rerouting ships all the way around the Cape of Good Hope, the variable that matters most is no longer demand, it's lead time. This is the right tool for the job. It's the formula recommended by the Institute for Supply Management. Safety stock equals Z times sigma L times mu D. Okay, so what does that mean? Z is your service level, mu D is your average daily demand, and the critical variable right now, the one that just blew up, is sigma L, the standard deviation of your lead time. So let's see how this actually plays out with some real numbers. Before the disruption, let's just say your standard deviation of lead time was a nice, stable 2 days. With a 95% service level and moving 100 units a day, you'd need about 330 units of safety stock. Simple. But now, with Cape rerouting, let's be conservative and say that lead time deviation jumps to 10 days. The rest of the formula, it all stays the same. But your required safety stock, that just became 1,650 units. The bottom line is a 5-fold increase. That's right, you need 5 times the safety stock just to maintain the exact same 95% service level you had before the strait closed. That is a massive hit to your working capital, and you need to be able to justify it with this math. Okay, so that's the analysis. Now we turn to action. This is not the time to sit back and monitor the situation. This is the time to execute. So here's your 4-point action plan for the rest of this week. First thing, pull every single one of your carrier contracts. Second, I want you to run the safety stock math we just walked through, but for your top 20 SKUs. Third, get on the phone with your key suppliers. You need to confirm their feedstock exposure and get their current, real lead times. And fourth, build a simple scenario model for your landed costs, with oil at $110 a barrel. Don't wait for the finance team to ask for it.
When you pull those contracts, you are hunting for very specific things. How is the fuel surcharge calculated? Is it weekly or quarterly? What exactly does the force majeure clause say about war risk?
Are there any caps on rate adjustments? And this is crucial. Check your Incoterms. Who is on the hook for war risk insurance on your current inbound shipments? You need that answer now, not later. I'm going to leave you with this final thought. The operators who successfully navigate this crisis, they won't be the ones who were smarter. They'll be the ones who did the work beforehand. The ones who thought through the triggers, who ran the numbers, and who had a plan ready to go before things went sideways. Preparation is the only advantage you have right now. Your response framework starts today.